Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Michelle. This is Your Wish Fulfilled on YouTube. Today we are talking about self-concept and how to actually do the work of building up your self-concept. So in order to, this is gonna be probably just a two-part teaching, okay? This first part we're gonna talk about dismantling your current self-concept or your current programming, okay? How the assumptions that you're holding of yourself, okay? So, and I have all of this already written down to keep myself on track, because if not, I tend to kind of go off on tangents. All right, so this is how we do it, okay? In order to work on your self-concept, to build your self-concept, you first want to go in and clear out the existing programming or the existing concept that you have of yourself, okay? And so your programming is going to be, you know, the story that you have about yourself, what you are capable of, what your worth is, just the beliefs that you hold about yourself, and the mental images as well, the pictures that you hold of yourself, okay? So in order to clear the existing programming or your existing self-concept, we do two things, okay? We destabilize and then we dismantle, okay? So we destabilize by first releasing the emotional charge, okay? I talk about releasing emotional charges in all of my videos. I'm not going to go over the process here, all right? If you are not familiar with my work or my channel, if you're brand new here, please check the description box. There is a video called Releasing the Wants. It talks about how to release emotional charges, how to clear the channel, how to basically get yourself out of a crappy feeling state and into a better feeling state. But for the purposes of this video, it's releasing the wants. That is how you clear the emotional charge, okay? If you're feeling triggered or anything like that, that's how you do it, okay? So then after we release the emotional charge, which destabilizes the programming, then we can start to dismantle the programming, which sets us up to be able to install new programming, okay? So what we do to dismantle is we reframe and then question the thoughts and or beliefs that are making up that programming. Basically, it's like you question the thoughts, you question the belief, you also question whatever evidence or proof that you have that you know, programming is true, all right? Okay, let's see, where am I at? All right, so first let's kind of talk about how this works, how your programming is worked, okay? So a thought does not become a belief until it has been charged with an emotion, okay? Without the emotional charge, you guys, a thought means nothing. It's just a concept. It's the emotional charge that gives it weight, okay? It is also the emotional charge that imprints that thought or that belief into your subconscious programming. But I believe I've already I've got that written down here somewhere, okay? Yeah, and it says here, a belief doesn't become part of your programming until an emotional charge is attached to it, okay? So this is also another reason why we first work on destabilizing it through releasing the emotional charges, because that's how we dig it up out of our programming. That's how we get it out of our programming, okay? And then it says an emotional charge doesn't become attached unless repetition is involved. And basically what we're talking about here is you're finding proof or evidence that that thought is true for you, okay? And you do that on a repeated basis, and this is how a belief is formed, okay? You know, there has to be some weight to it to make it true for you, okay? So that's basically how something becomes a part of your programming. This is how it becomes a part of your self-concept. For those of you who are just kind of, you know, psychology nerds like me, the vast majority of your self-concept is created during the first 7 years of your life, when you are largely kind of in a hypnotic state, okay? And so you may be very, like, your self-concept is probably largely subconscious, okay? So this is why I have this written down, and I've got it down in steps, because it really causes you to question things, look at things, so that you can get it out of your subconscious and into your conscious mind, where it is able to be destabilized and dismantled. Because until it is, your programming, or elements of your programming are brought into your conscious mind, that's the only way that it can be cleared. This is why I've come, and I recommend, like, I've come to embrace triggers. I've come to embrace 3D circumstances, or challenging 3D circumstances that trigger certain things, because that makes me realize, oh, there's still something in my subconscious programming that I have been completely unaware, but has been there the entire time. And if something is in your programming, you guys, you are manifesting from that space, whether you are consciously aware of it or not. This is why you can have consciously, a pretty solid self-concept. Maybe you're feeling confident. You have an overall good feeling about your self-concept, or your self-confidence, but then you continue to manifest 3D circumstances that show you that you're not. You know what I mean? And the reason why that is because, consciously you have a good idea as to why you're worthy, why you are deserving, why you belong on a pedestal and stuff like that. But there is an even larger part of, well, it's not even you, it's your programming, okay? A larger part of your self-concept is below the conscious awareness of your mind, and that is where you are manifesting from. You hear people talk about you're manifesting your dominant thoughts. Yes, that is very much true. And if your dominant thoughts and your dominant feelings are going to be subconscious, it's going to be in your programming, good or bad. So if your dominant conscious thoughts, you're thinking good thoughts about yourself, what you're worth, you belong on a pedestal, but then your SP is showing up and showing you that they're putting somebody else on a pedestal and not you, that is just showing you that there is something in your self-concept. There's something going on there that is subconscious, you're not even aware of, and that is why you are manifesting on autopilot behaviors from your SP that you're not wanting. Okay, so this is why this work is so important. Let's see. Yeah, and so that's how you've come to make a thought into a belief. It's because you've attached proof or evidence to it. It's true. I am unworthy of love, and this is the proof. This is the evidence of that, and it could be anything. Okay. All right. So the way that we rebuild our self-concept is we reverse engineer. Okay, so the way that the current programming was downloaded or input is going to be the way that we actually dismantle it. Okay, all right, so the first thing you need to ask yourself, you guys, when you are attacking your current programming or your current self-concept, the first thing you need to ask yourself, though, and this is going to help you so you know where to start. Okay, so do you need to destabilize first? Do you need to release emotional charges, or can you go right into questioning the thoughts and the beliefs? In other words, dismantling the programming. So what you need to ask yourself is, are you feeling triggered right now? Okay, is there a story that you are currently hypnotized by? Is there something going on in your 3D reality where you're hypnotized by it? You are almost overwhelmed by it. You know what I mean? Are you feeling triggered right now? Okay, if the answer is yes, then you release the emotional charge. You start by destabilizing. Okay, that story or that hypnotic state or that trigger. You destabilize first, okay? If you're not feeling triggered right now, you're just kind of in a neutralized state already. You're not really, you know what I mean? You're feeling okay. Then you can go right to reverse engineering. In other words, dismantling your current concept or your current programming, okay? So we're going to take kind of an example. We're going to look at maybe a current programming or self-concept, and it may be I'm not good enough for SP, okay? That is a core belief. The core belief is I'm not good enough for SP, all right? So that's the first thing. Now you want to look at what's the proof that this is true? What's the proof or the evidence that you have that you are not good enough for your SP, okay? And so this proof is what we're also going to be talking about is reinforcing beliefs. So proof or evidence is our reinforcing beliefs, okay, that reinforce this I'm not good enough for SP. It's like the proof is what holds this belief together. It's what stabilizes and keeps the core belief in place, okay? So the proof you might have, so you really need to ask yourself when you're doing this work, like, okay, what's the evidence to me that I'm not good enough for my person, okay? And it can be a myriad of things. I'm just giving you guys examples of what I've, dealt with myself, what I've seen other clients deal with and stuff like that. All right, so proof can be like, I'm fat or I'm overweight. Maybe I'm not attractive enough, I'm ugly, poor, maybe I'm not successful enough, I don't make enough money, I'm lazy, maybe I'm used goods. In terms of like, maybe childhood trauma, maybe I've come from, I've had a lot of, partners before. Maybe the SP told you that you're not good enough for them. Like they told you, okay? And if they did tell you, you guys, I mean, this is very hard to do. They may have told you that they're not. Hopefully they told you why. You know what I mean? If they didn't tell you why, that's okay. You yourself, like they're just a mirror of you, okay? They are reflecting back to you how you're feeling about yourself. So even if your SP did not tell you why you're not good enough, that's okay. The same reasons you feel you're not good enough for them are going to be the same reasons they feel it. They're just mirroring back to you, okay? They're giving you feedback, basically. Another reason you might have that you're not good enough for them, or you're just not good enough for, love, attention, whatever, in general, maybe because I'm not good in bed, I'm too short, or maybe I'm too tall. SP left me for someone else. SP won't commit to me. SP is giving a third party what they refuse to give to me. The third party is better than me. There's so many things where, and it could be anything. Maybe my parents told me I'm not good enough. Friends, family, no one, everyone rejects me. Everyone abandons me. I'm not good enough. So there's so many things that you have that are like reinforcing beliefs that are holding up this core belief that I'm not good enough for SP, okay? Think of reinforcing beliefs though as proof or evidence that this is true, okay? That I'm not good enough for SP. Because if it's the reinforcing beliefs that are holding up this core belief, what do you think we're going to tackle first? Okay, we got to tackle the reinforcing beliefs, okay, the evidence that you have decided that makes the core belief true. Okay, all right, so now we have our proof and our evidence, right? All that proof, all that evidence that you've written down about why your core belief is true, okay? Now we're going to start attacking those. We're going to attacking the proof or the evidence. We're going to start dismantling the reinforcements that are holding up the core belief. That's how you destabilize and dismantle the core belief, okay? So the proof, okay, and you can take these one at a time if you want to. Normally what I would do, you guys, to kind of save yourself some time, I would pick the one that makes you feel the most triggered, okay? Like if you're sitting here, especially if you're already starting from a point where you're not necessarily feeling that triggered, but when you look at this evidence and all of a sudden you come to a piece of evidence, quote unquote evidence, and it triggers something in you, go with that one. The one that triggers the most in you, go with that one, because more than likely that one proof or that one piece of evidence, in other words, that reinforcing belief, may be connected to some of these other ones. And by working on that one belief, you will actually, it's like a tree, right? It's like, it's a core root, and then it's like a tree. So if you attack the root, the branches just kind of disappear, if that makes any sense. Okay, so if you're not really quite sure where to start, go with the one that triggers something like a shitty feeling state within you. Okay, work with that one first, because what you'll end up seeing is like, oh, well, I worked on that one, and now these other ones, it just kind of, they fell by the wayside naturally because of that. Okay, so the one that you picked, is it a belief or is it a situation? Okay, so in other words, let me see how I have these here. Okay, okay, so a belief would be like, I'm ugly, right? Or I'm fat, or, and not saying that it is true or untrue. Okay, that this is part of the questioning process. We'll get to what a situation is here in a minute, but we're just going to talk about going through the work with a belief. So let's say that I'm not good enough for SP because I'm ugly. That's the reinforcing belief. This is the proof that you're not good enough for SP. So we're going to start dismantling this, which is going to destabilize and dismantle the core belief. Okay, so again, the core belief is I'm not good enough for SP, and then the reinforcing belief is because I'm ugly, right? All right, so again, we dismantle the core belief by removing the reinforcements. Remove reinforcing beliefs by questioning and or reframing the thought or the belief. So this is where we actually start going, we do the work. Okay, so we question the thought or the belief, I'm ugly. Okay, is it true? Is it true that you are ugly or that you are unattractive? You know, and it may be, you may actually be like, yeah, I'm like ugly, I'm like Shrek. Okay, and it is okay. If you've watched my channel, I have talked to you many times about like appearance has nothing to do with your attractiveness as a person. Okay, so even no matter what your answer is, if it's yes, we just continue on working. Okay, if it's no, if you're like, well, actually no, I'm not ugly, you know, I'm very attractive, I'm actually beautiful or handsome, okay, then that right there might just destabilize, and you're like, okay, and your work here is done. You can, however, go on, especially if your answer is like, yeah, I'm not that attractive, right? So here's where you get to reframe the thought. So the thought is, I'm ugly, and that's why I'm unworthy of my SP, or I'm unworthy of love and attention, or whatever. Okay, so you have to ask yourself, is it true that appearance is what makes you worthy of love and attention, or makes someone worthy of love and attention? Okay, can you find, and this is where you start to reverse engineer. Okay, just like you were able to create that core belief and make that proof a reinforcement, you're going to do the exact opposite, or the exact same thing but in the opposite direction. Okay, so can you find examples or evidence or proof where this is not true? Okay, that this core belief that I am unworthy of love and attention, or I am unworthy of my SP because of how I look. Okay, so what you do is then, can you find or think of anyone, whether it's celebrities, maybe people that you know, can you think of any quote unquote ugly or unattractive people who are happily like in relationships and are in love? Okay, I can. All right, there's tons of celebrities out there, namely Jay-Z and Beyonce. Who else is not very attractive and coupled up? I mean, there's tons of them. It's, you know, and I have like real life examples of people that I know where it's like, you know, they're not attractive. They're definitely not Greek gods. They're not tall, dark, and handsome, or, you know, Instagram models or anything like that. And they pull romantic interest left and right, like moths to a flame. Okay, so clearly So is it true then that appearance is what makes you worthy of love and affection? Okay, no, it's not true. Okay, there are so many examples of people whose physical looks have nothing to do with, oh my gosh, who was it? Pete Davidson. Pete Davidson. If you don't know who that is, look him up. Pete Davidson. Okay, he's currently, I think, messing around with Kim Kardashian, and he's been linked to several beautiful women. Let's see, Kardashian, what was her name? Kate Beckinsale, Ariana Grande, just all these, this guy is not, he's not an Adonis, okay? He's not a Greek god. He's not attractive. In fact, half the time he looks like he's like sick. But for some reason, he's pulling romantic interest left and right. It has nothing to do with physical looks, okay? So what do you think it is that makes someone attractive? Okay, now also, is it true that people who are beautiful and have gorgeous bodies, is it true that that's what makes them worthy of love and attention? Can you think of anyone this is actually really probably easier, who are gorgeous Instagram models, can't keep romantic interest to save their life? Yeah, they might be able to get into relationships easily, but they can't keep them, right? So clearly that's not it either. Okay, so your appearance has little to do, if anything, really has nothing to do with your attractability as a person. What attracts people to you is your energy, it's your vibe, it's your personality, it's your self-concept. So your self-concept is either attracting people, magnetizing people to you like a moth to a flame, or it's repelling them. Your self-concept does have a very unique, either repelling or magnetizing energetic signature that people pick up on, very much so, okay? And it's your self-concept or your vibe that is either going to make you invisible to other people, or it's going to make you glow from the inside out, where people cannot look away from you. They're just going to be like, I have to go talk to that person. Okay, it's your vibe, it's your self-concept that makes you irresistible to somebody else. It's your energy. Okay, all right, so we're going to question another thought. So another thought or another belief, another reinforcing belief or proof that you have that reinforces the core belief is I'm fat or I'm overweight. Okay, is it true? And it may very well be true. Okay, you may be overweight in a clinical sense. Some of you, it's like, you may be carrying around a little bit of weight, but it's like you're not fat. Okay, and so you might be able to just be like, well, actually, no. I might be carrying a little bit of extra weight, but I'm actually not fat. You know what I mean? And you might be able to destabilize and dismantle it right then. For those of you that are, like really overweight, you can go through this questioning process again. Okay, so if it's yes, is it true? And you're like, yeah, it actually is. I'm like really overweight. I need to lose weight actually, and you can reframe the thought. I'm unworthy of my SP because I'm fat, or I'm unworthy of love and affection or connection of a romantic interest because I'm fat. Okay, you go through the same process. Okay, is it true that weight or your body size is what makes someone worthy of love and attention? Okay, can you find examples or proof or evidence where this is not true? Okay, I can. Okay, there's actually people out there who are more attracted to more curvier body styles or even overweight people than not. Okay, so and ever since, you guys, I used to have a really shitty body image, and I used to think that I had to be like, have almost no body fat whatsoever. And that was because I had that belief, that's what I saw. I saw where, that's all I saw were just the only people that were happy, or at least, attracting romantic interest, were people that were really, really skinny. Since I've started changing that dynamic and that self-concept, I'm actually starting to be like, oh wow, there's a lot of people out here who are carrying around a lot of extra weight, and people are just going berserk over them, like, super attracted to them and stuff like that. Okay, you're going to see whatever it is you're believing. So You know, reframing the thought. Okay, is it true that that's what makes you worthy of love and love and affection and attraction? Okay, is it true that your body weight is what is the only thing that makes you attractive? Okay, and can you find any examples or evidence where that is not true? Okay, and you can do the flip side too. Can you think of anybody that has a beautiful body, who is, you know, within a what we would consider a normal weight range, who is just, you know, has no issues, you know, or is having a hard time keeping romantic interests? You know, they might be able to get into relationships quite easily, but are they keeping them? No. Same thing with this up here. Okay, so this is kind of like the run through on the belief side of it. Okay, basically what you are doing is you are dismantling the reinforcing thoughts, because that's going to automatically destabilize the core belief. Okay, if that makes any sense. Okay, now we're going to look into the situations. Okay, where we have the proof, and that proof is more of a situation than it is a belief. Okay, so a situation would be SP is giving the third party everything I begged them for, but they refuse to give. Okay, that's a situation. All right, so what we're going to do with that is we are going to find out what you're making that mean. What story is that triggering within you? Okay, what beliefs about yourself is this situation triggering or popping up or digging up to the surface? Okay, so your SP is giving the third party everything that you begged them for, but they refuse to give to you. Okay, they're giving that to someone else when they refuse to give it to you. And what are you making that mean? Okay, what are you making it mean? So what beliefs are now showing up? So you might say, well, that means obviously I'm unworthy. The third party is better than me. You know, they like the SP better than me. What are you making it mean? Okay, so I think what we're going to go through, so the current self-concept, and we're just using this as an example, is that the third party is better than me. Okay, so what proof do you have, okay, that you are making this, the third party is better than me? You can treat this as a core belief now. Okay, what proof do you have that the third party is better than you? All right, what reinforcing beliefs are you using that is making this true for you? Okay, you might think that they're better looking than you are, that they're more attractive. Maybe they have a, you know, their body is, maybe you feel is more banging than yours. Maybe they're thinner, maybe they make more money, maybe they got better personality, maybe they got better things than you do, maybe they got a house and a nicer car or whatever. Okay, whatever evidence that you have that you are attaching to make this true for you. Okay, and we do the exact same thing here that we did before. Okay, so again, we're just starting all over. Okay, going through the proof and the evidence. Is it a belief or a situation? Okay, and you just go through the whole same thing again. Okay, they're better looking than me, and that's why you know, they're better than me. Okay, again, you go through the whole situation again. Is it their looks that make them better than you? Is it their weight that make them better than you? Okay, when you break it down and you start to see, what you will realize, it's like the only thing that this person probably has over you is their self-concept is better. That's it. And you are in the process of rewiring and reworking your self-concept. But honestly, you guys, it's like, you know, that may not even be the case. You may not even know that their self-concept is better than yours. Okay, you really don't have a clue. So that's just kind of going to show you how you dismantle and or how you destabilize and dismantle your self-concept, especially if it is one that is particularly challenging and you're having a hard time dealing with. Okay, this can take a little bit of time, but it is definitely worth it. Okay, so I'm going to end this part here. I'll probably drop part 2, where we're going to be talking about now that we've cleared the current self-sabotaging self-concept, you know, the self-concept that is causing you to experience things in the 3D realm that are very challenging and not in alignment with what you're wanting to manifest, okay? Now, once that's cleared out, we've reframed that, we're, you know, now we get to build an even better, more self-concept, okay? We actually get to look for evidence that you are the best, you belong on the pedestal, and we are going to attach, you know, feeling states to it in order to imprint that new self-concept into your subconscious programming, so that you are just naturally manifesting 3D circumstances that you actually want to have. All right, so that'll probably drop tomorrow, you guys, to give you some time to digest everything that I have released today. All right, do me a favor, if this resonated, let me know, comment, you know, down below, let me know what you thought. Smash that like button. It's a wonderful way to energetically donate to the channel. And share and subscribe if you feel led to do so. I will see you at my next video. Thanks, you guys.